This video is not meant for children and is brought to you by support from Patreon. Hello, and welcome everyone to Stellaris. Empires, by me, Maester Aelix. This is episode 1, so there's going to be a bit more explaining about what all of this is before I get into what all of it does. But long story short, I have been a fan of Stellaris for a very long time. I have played it a lot. I have made and destroyed and remade empires many, many times. And while I recognize Stellaris is tremendously fun, it is also not the most visually engaging game. So Stellaris gameplay is not fantastic. It takes a lot of editing and it's many hours of play, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to focus in on my favorite part, and that is generating empires. So that's what this series is going to be about. The empires I play, how I made them, why I made them. Some for effect, some for roleplay, some just for fun, and some because I hadn't yet. So let's begin. So as you see, I have a ton of empires, and I'm not done yet. My goal is to have an empire for every origin. Now, as of time of recording, I do not have all the DLC. I still am missing these 3, and as funds will allow, I will pick them up and continue using their new origins, etc., etc. But let's begin at the bottom of my list, the one I've made the longest time ago, and has served me as well as both an empire and as an NPC, the Paraluva Cooperative. So, let's go in from the start and get things going explaining this. So first things first, before I hit edit, the origin, since this is going to be the focus of all the things. Syncretic evolution. A second species forms an integral part of this civilization. They are big, strong, and most of them have intelligence of a particularly dim-witted child. Ancient wars have culled their species of their most aggressive tendencies, leaving them quite servile. So I have 12 servile pops to start, which is a great start. But let's go at the beginning. Appearance. I went with the peacock avians because that is like the epitome of look good and not work hard. And they're birds, they're not known for their strength, and they're peacocks. They are more pretty than useful. And it is also reflected in their flag, but we'll get down to that later. The name I went with Paraluva because it sounds big and fancy, like gilded. And while I don't normally have a biography typed in, this time I do, and I'll probably do so in the future, but the surface of the planet, the Grand Nest, is poor in resources and of land. Paraluvas have had a very rough time gathering resources until they came across their Krull counterparts. Through the years of devious manipulation and treaties, they have completely brought the Krull to their heel. So yeah, we got the Paraluva on top and the Krull underneath in the water because they are Lithoid species. I went with Avian 2 because that seemed, kind of fun. Nothing without too many apostrophes, but still long enough to seem good. Plus, I like the mono name convention for the fancy pants, and when we get down to the Lithoid names, they're longer, so I think that's a good flip for an alien mindset. So for the traits for these surface birds, we have natural sociologists, conservationists. They are sedentary, and I did that for a specific reason. We don't want them spreading too far, too quick, even when we do take over other worlds, because of the slave race. We want it to be pretty even. But because they are slaves, hell yeah, decadent, and intelligence. They do the smart jobs. So go science, go. The syncretic species is the Krull. Are Lithoids, which are fun, and I picked you can't really see it well here, but I picked the big, nasty one with the eyes coming out of its mouth, and they're just gross, and I love it. Deep sea Lithoids. They're the Krull. They don't really have a biography. It was covered in the other ones. I went with a name list of 4, which is, Ruken Adenmost, Duptem Dockflast, Sailing in Charbrill. they're the slaves and they get the fancy names. I kind of dig that as a, narrative flip. And their traits are Lithoids, which of course means they do not need food, they use minerals. Servile, they make more minerals. They're industrious, more minerals. Sedentary to match the other one. Strong, more resources, including minerals. Yeah. And slow learners, because these guys are never going to be leaders, so them having slow learners does not matter. So they are just pumping out all the resources they can, especially minerals, because minerals get turned into, well, everything. Went with an ocean world because reasons, the story, and helps them fly from island to island. The homeworld is called the Grand Nest, and I have named the star Glory. And it doesn't really matter what the solar system is. There's a lot of other things where it would matter, but not this one. City appearance, Avian, of course. Origin, we went over Syncretic evolution, but it is quite the powerful one because you do have more pops to start, and that is a great start. For governing ethics, we made them Imperial, because of course we did. Fanatic authoritarians, because we want our worker pop resources better. Xenophobic, because, well, we can purge and enslave, and since we already enslave people, why not do it more? Slavers Guilds, because slaves good. I almost went with barbaric despoilers to get more slaves that way, but I think that would be a little over the top. So I went with aristocratic elite, mostly for roleplay reasons, because the aristocratic elite, but it is good. We got nobles, additional nobles, and they have a 20% chance. Yeah, nobles are not bad. Pretty good. The advisor, we just based on government, but listen to this, imagine it coming out of this beak.
Dissent is forcefully discouraged.
Oh yeah. Empire name, the Parula Cooperative. It seems much more nicer than they really are, but they are very evil birds, and they are not nice. For the flag, I went with a very simple water below, gold above, and of course the overarching bird thing, and of course the up curve bird, down curve water. Seemed sufficiently space racist. Not actually racist, because none of these races exist, and it is racist because it is races, not because it is different species. So, anyway, went with Avian, because the Avians would be in charge of such things. And is it just me, or do the Avian things look more, I don't know, aquatic than others? Because, I mean, look, they're like fishy, where the actual aquatics are not. Anyway, I'm just going to keep it Avian. The crown prince or princess of the flock leader, and just kind of went with a random name for this one. It doesn't really matter. But for me, what made this is a color variant 4, which makes them gold. And also on this thing, room 13. You have what looks like wings. They're made of gold. Things are very relatively simple, even though they are, the fancy ones. So I'm very happy with how this room and race turned out. And the new ruler trait, I went with charisma, because of course the mean evil ones on the surface have to be charismatic. They have to at least, they got the curl under their heel one way or another. Which I find this to be very fun. Now, as far as playing it, the extra 12 servile pops is extremely strong. It's just... And the fact that we're set up to have these slaves with the slaving guilds and... Hold on. Where's the back? With the slavers guilds and the decadent and the fanatic authoritarian. Really, this is just such a powerful start. Now, later on, it's a little difficult because you want to try to make sure you get that balance necessary. You need to have like 35%. Yeah, enslaved population rating of 35%, which is why they both have sedentary, and we have the pop growth speed only at 10%, but that's empire-wide, so it applies to both. We're going to try to keep these at balance now, because once you get out of balance, then things start spiraling out of control. But keep them in balance, and everyone will be happy, and you will have such good output. They are very strong, and by making them a forced spawn, along with many others, they show up a lot, and they are a powerhouse. They are just... Again, this is a very strong start. And strong starts snowball into strong middles, which can snowball into strong ends. Especially with these people being, intelligent. So good science, especially sociology or society. All in all, this is a great empire. Not stupid good and not stupid easy, but it does give you some things to give you a good start. It's just later on when you have to balance your population that you should really worry about it. So here you go. So if you enjoyed this series and you want to see more, please remember to hit that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it if you subscribed if you weren't already. It's a little click for you and a really big deal for me. Also, if you like these videos, you know what to do. Watch this one, watch a few more, get my watch time up. I'd love that. And of course, if you really, really like what I'm doing, please consider supporting me on Patreon. The link is down below. And with that being said, I shall see you all on the next one.